Well, speaking of children, you know, a big focus this year has been with the Department of Child Services and protecting those children. You know, can you talk about what the legislature focused on this session for youth and children?
Absolutely. One of the biggest issues this session had to do with our Department of Child Services. Indiana is not doing well compared to other states in our most vulnerable children. What we had to do was take a hard look at reform for DCS, and the Senate Bill 1, which I was a co-sponsor, did a large amount of reform as well as a substantial increase in funding for DCS, $300 million each year increase, and the total budget of DCS is about $1 billion now. So we're expecting results. We're seeing early indicators that that a lot of the issues are being addressed, and more kids are getting services, more funding for case managers, and more funding to make sure that we have the resources available to support our children.
Sounds like we're moving in the right direction. How about some of your personal priorities that came through this last legislative session?
Thanks. Yes, I had two bills that passed, and one of the things I think I'm very proud of is 86% of our bills in the House were bipartisan. It's, I think, compared to
It's not what we see in Washington.
Yeah, out in Washington, you're thinking the same thing I was. We work really well together across the aisle in a bipartisan way, and I think the results speak for themselves. I was fortunate to be able to pass two bills unanimously in the House. The first was protecting Social Security numbers and your credit reports to make sure that all our citizens are protected from identity theft and what's called synthetic identity fraud, targeting mostly seniors and children that don't have credit histories. That was a very successful measure that will help our citizens. Also very proud of making sure to protect our taxpayers. Passed a bill called HB 1192, which protects our local governments from our public servants that steal. And I have to say that by and large, the vast majority of our public servants are hard-working, honest Hoosiers, and really the reason that Indiana is known as the state that works. In the rare case, though, that there's monies that are stolen, my legislation allows the local government to garnish the pensions of those thieves, and make sure that the local governments can have every avenue to recoup their monies, and that justice is served. It's really important that we are transparent and work with the state and local bodies to make sure our taxpayer monies are spent appropriately and very transparently.
Yeah. Public service comes with public trust, and when that's violated, the public needs to have an opportunity to recover, you know, what was lost, as you say, or what was stolen. And so I think that legislation will be very helpful. I really do.
I appreciate that, and hopefully we'll never have to use it.
Not here in Columbus. No, sir. Okay. Well, William, thank you very much for the opportunity to have introduced Representative Lauer today. As I said before, at District 59. You've served in the legislature now for 2 terms, 1 term, still the number 1?
Got through the first session.
Okay.
And was honored to have served on the Bartholomew County Council here a number of years ago. I really appreciate your service to our city.
Thanks.
And I'll tell you what, up at the State House, Columbus is absolutely a beacon for some of the best things that are going on in the state, and you certainly have something to do with that. Thank you, Mayor Lienhoop.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, William.
Thank you both
Thank you,
for your
William.
time and your interview.
Appreciate it.